Hey, it's Matt Webley here. Hope you're doing all right. So it's almost UAE Day here. There's flags going up and all that stuff. They actually celebrate their country. They're proud of it, and they should be. Dubai, the UAE, awesome place. As the West descends into chaos and tyranny, especially the UK, which is a centerpiece of tyranny right now, with the disastrous Labour government, the worst government of my life. When you see them here celebrating their country, celebrating what they've achieved, there's optimism in the air. Like, it's such an amazing place, and so happy to be here. And I feel sorry for my British brothers and sisters that can't escape the tyranny, the creeping tyranny of the UK and the controlled puppets that are the Labour government. Yeah, I just wish you could be here and just feel the difference. Ignore all of the nonsense you see online. The UAE is an amazing place to be. They're getting the vast majority of things right, instead of, as in the UK, the vast majority of the things wrong. In fact, I'm not even sure the UK accidentally gets anything right. It's a disaster. But anyway, let's not talk about that. I just thought I'd throw that in there. What I want to talk about here is how much money can you make with AI, and specifically in AI SaaS, and how guaranteed is it? How slam dunk is it? And that's what we're going to talk about in this video. Because it's been a while since I made a video. It's been a long day. I've been, if I was to say dragged around Dubai Mall all day, that would be unfair. So I'm going to say I've been shopping for clothes for Holly. Take of that what you will, bless her. Right, women love shopping, don't they? Like, you could have an unlimited bank balance and a woman would find a way to spend a little bit more on shopping. Like, that's just what they do. They love it. Whereas us men, we're like hunters. We just, like, if we need something, we go get it, just that, and we leave. Whereas women are happy to immerse themselves and seemingly never stop immersing themselves. And however much immersion you give them, there's never enough. But anyway, so yeah, I wouldn't say beaten and battered today, but I'm happy. I'm happy that Holly's managed to get some nice clothes. So anyway, how much money can you make with AI SaaS? And the truth is, how long's a piece of string? Now, the beauty of the business model is essentially it's uncapped, unlimited earnings. Now, does that mean you're going to earn unlimited trillions of dollars? No, you're not. But potentially, does it mean you could? Yes, you could. Obviously, trillions of dollars is ridiculous. Like, we have no trillionaires in the world yet. So the chances of you being one, especially with some AI vibe-coded SaaS, is almost impossible. But it doesn't mean it is impossible, because the beauty of it is it's a digital asset that you can sell to everybody. So potentially, if you could think of an idea for an AI piece of software as a service that essentially had a global market and everybody would benefit from that SaaS, then theoretically you could have everybody be your customer. It's not capped. You know, like if you opened a flower shop on this street, you realistically, all right, there might be some certain online business models where you could sell to Australia from Dubai, but the reality is you're probably capped by maybe Dubai. Maybe somebody in Abu Dhabi an hour down the road that way, maybe somebody there would buy some flowers, and if it were super niche and they really wanted them and they couldn't get any closer. But realistically, you're probably looking at the local neighborhoods, maybe a 10, 20 minute drive radius or something like that. It's probably where you're going to cap out. But especially, it's going to be the tower blocks and the villas and stuff in the local area. They're going to be predominantly your real life customers, right? Online software as a service is not that. You could potentially use AI to translate your software into every language there is. So you could use AI to make a Spanish version, a Japanese version, a Chinese version, whatever version. And now all of a sudden, language barrier is no longer a problem. You could integrate different payment processors with different currencies. So even if somebody wanted to pay in Japanese yen and you only offered it in US dollars, well, potentially you just plug a payment processor in that accepts Japanese yen, and now all of a sudden you've opened up a Japanese market because you've got Japanese language, you've got Japanese yen currency, and you can even support in Japanese now, because as the Japanese kind of support requests come in, you use an AI bot or you use just translation service AI, which will give you perfectly clean translated Japanese, so you can answer in English, get it translated back, or have your bot answer it in Japanese straight away, whatever. So what I'm saying is, literally, if you could come up with an idea that everybody wants, potentially everybody could be your customer. So when I say it's uncapped potential, uncapped earnings, literally the world, anybody connected to the internet in the world is your market. So, but the reality is, look, a business that is built to appeal to everybody is probably going to appeal to nobody, right? Yeah, there are some essentially online platforms like Facebook that have a worldwide audience, whereby you could argue everybody could potentially become a customer. But in the SaaS that I talk about, usually B2B, desktop SaaS, you're going to be into a micro niche if you actually want to get traction. And just because you build a product that would have mass worldwide appeal doesn't mean that you could market it to the world. And so ultimately, uncapped earnings, yes, but the reality is very different. It's extremely easy now to build a software as a service application. So easy and fun, like so fun. So whoever you are, even if you've got no coding experience, no AI experience, no tech experience, look, as long as you can speak, and it don't even have to be in English, as long as you can speak or type, as long as you can communicate to other human beings, you can communicate to the AI and get it to create a software as a service app. So that barrier to entry is so disappeared now. It's so easy to build software as a service. Now the real key, and what's going to actually cap your earnings, is your ability to build a business out of it. So what I've found with my one-to-one mentees, and my coaching clients, is they found the building the app enjoyable, relatively easy, frustrating at times, but they usually get over it pretty quick, and just enjoyable and easy. And everybody that just sticks to it has managed to build an app, right? Where the real challenge comes, and what will cap your earnings, obviously there's going to be things like, what niche did you go into, who's your target market, how painful is the problem that you solve, how much are they willing and able to spend to solve that problem, how much competition there is, how good your sales process is, how good your marketing is. There's way too many variables to be able to predict it, of how much money you will make. But I can say is, look, everybody that gets into building an app, almost everybody, there's always somebody that decides that they can't do it technically, but they're just wrong. They can do it. They probably just went down the wrong direction and didn't know they'd done it, and then that's it. And this is the thing. It's like a tournament almost, like a knockout tournament business. Most people, let's say a pyramid where this is success at the top, and everybody that starts in business is here. There's loads of them, and then at each stage, more get knocked out. So let's say the AI SaaS business. Let's say this many people start. Let's say the whole of Dubai, so as big as you can imagine, is the potential people that could get into AI SaaS. Well, most won't even get into it because they don't know about it, they don't think they could do it, blah, blah, blah. Whatever reason, they don't get into it. So of this bunch of people that do get into it, so that's not the whole of Dubai, it's just these people, a bunch of them are going to get knocked out at the first hurdle, which might be, I can't think of an idea, right? There. So there's less people, like a pyramid, there's less people. Loads of people get knocked out of that first hurdle. Can't think of an idea. Now, a load of them will get knocked out here because they can't validate the idea. They start to second guess themselves. They start to go, yeah, but is the idea any good? And they don't want to risk putting a few months of their life into trying something that might not work. So they get knocked out. So there's less people. And then of these people, maybe they, I don't know, struggle because they can't figure out the right tech stack, the AI tech stack. So it's too difficult for them because they don't know what they're doing and they've got nobody to guide them. So that knocks a bunch of people out. And that's basically how it goes, right? Now, what I specialize in as a mentor of helping people build AI software as a service businesses is, of the people that would get knocked out here, which is the vast majority, to be honest, I keep the vast majority in. So they go from, I don't have an idea, and that would normally knock them out. They go, oh, I do have an idea because Matt's helped me. So a bunch of them ascend kind of to the next kind of step of the pyramid, if you like. And then validating the idea. A load of them are like, oh, I don't know about this idea, start second guessing themselves, start like deep dive procrastinating, trying to think about how to make it perfect, and then they think, but what if it doesn't work? And they get worried and they get in their own heads, and that knocks them out. So I like go, no, this will work. This is amazing. Like, this will work. And that gives them the confidence to go to the next stage. So each stage, like 99% of my clients would have got knocked out stage 1 without my help. And then 99% of them would probably get knocked out at stage 2 without my help. So each step of the ladder, I help them ascend. And what I've found is they're getting to the point whereby they have got an app built. And then a lot of them, I've been speaking to a lot of them like in the last week or two, they're like, some are starting to talk themselves out of it a little bit, like, oh, I think I'm going to build this app instead. And when you deep dive and ask them more questions, they're a little bit like, no, actually, I think I'm just scared of having people judge me on the app. So if I don't release it, like, nobody can judge it, and I'm not going to feel embarrassed by it, or like, it's not going to hurt my ego. And like, these things, if they're honest with themselves, these things come up, and then they go, and when I go, no, yeah, but you're one of the chosen ones. Literally, I had this conversation this week. You're one of the chosen ones. You've got to see this through. You see this through, you get 2, 5, 10, 20K a month coming in, and you don't have to do any work for it. Like, you've already done the half of the journey has been taken by the fact you've built this great app. Stop second guessing yourself. Get out of your own head. Stop thinking you've got to build this because that's an easier thing, because you'll as soon as you've built that, you'll come up with reasons why you can't launch that as well. So it's like, part of me being a mentor is to guide them through those processes. But the reality is for most people watching this, they won't even get started. So your earnings are capped at 0 in the AI SaaS game. For the vast majority that do take action, they're not going to make money either, because they're going to build an app, get inside their own head and talk themselves out of it after putting 2-3 months of effort into building this app. So they're capped at 0, right? And then the next kind of rung is you've got to build the business. Building AI SaaS is easy. Building an AI SaaS business is difficult, right? Especially when you don't know what you're doing, you don't have the skill set or the knowledge or the contacts or whatever. What's that noise? I don't know if you could hear that. So it's like, building a business is difficult, right? But that bit for me is fun. That bit's the exciting bit. I am really good at taking businesses from 0 to 100K a year. Really good. I find it disgustingly easy to do that. Now, guiding somebody that's not a natural business person, that doesn't have the mindset for it maybe, and not the skill set and stuff, and navigating those people through it, that's the challenge, right? Which I enjoy, I really enjoy. And I can tell you right now, everybody that I work with, the only way they don't succeed is if they quit on themselves, right? That's the only way. I don't care if it takes you a year or 2 years to build a business, right? It takes what it takes. Maybe you do it in 3 months, maybe you do it in 2 months, maybe you do it in 6 months. Fingers crossed you do it in 6 months to a year. A real business, 2, 3, 5, 10, 20K a month. But if it takes you 2 years, the only way you don't succeed is if you quit. Because even if you find out there's not a product market fit or something comes up 6 months into your journey that, this is why it won't work for me. Okay, well, we just pivot. We spend an afternoon changing your sales process, changing a couple of features, changing your target market, and we get creative, and now all of a sudden you get another life. It's like a cat with 9 lives. The only way you don't succeed and start making real money building an AI SaaS business, with my guidance at least, is if you quit on yourself, right? And I genuinely believe that. So what will your average person that starts an AI SaaS business and has the right idea in the right niche and the right idea for them, with the right feature set, the right pricing point, the right sales process and the right free trials, the right automated email sequence, the right launch and marketing and everything in place, how much could somebody make that's got everything, all of the steps right, and just sees it through, gives it 6 to 12 months of their life? How much could they make? Well, again, too many variables that would get in the way of me being able to say an exact figure. For example, there's going to likely be way more money in a crypto app because it's closer to money, and people making money, they're more likely to spend money. So a crypto trading app, say, is way more likely to make money than a goldfish identification app. Now, if you're one of my clients, I wouldn't let you build a goldfish identification app, but a lot of people get passionate about weird things and they just want to build stuff. Now, I'm actually going to be moving some of my training into the mobile app space in the coming months, but right now, desktop B2B SaaS is what I really focus on and what I encourage people to do. A goldfish identification app is not a B2B desktop SaaS app. It's more something that would be a mobile app B2C. There's not going to be as much money in it, so that could be capped at a lower figure than a B2B app or something in the make money space or whatever. So there's too many variables to predict it, but I would say that anyone that starts on this journey is looking within 12 months to make, and again, earnings disclaimer, I don't promise a penny, I can't, too many variables, how long's a piece of string, but if I had to put a figure on it, I would say that anybody that gets into this process and fails, and I say that with those things, and fails, makes 2 to 5K a month passive. That would probably be, in 12 months time, if you're not making like 2K a month passive from your SaaS, something went wrong. You quit on yourself, probably, that is probably it. You quit on yourself, you quit too soon. Because there's always a different way you can pivot. You can always go, one feature added to that thing that you built could change everything. Like you might come up with a really unique feature that nobody's thought of in a space that's crowded, and now your SaaS stands out and you take market share. As easy as that. So I would say, as long as you don't quit and you are willing to give yourself 12 months or whatever it takes, that might be 2 years, 3 years, but definitely if you're willing to put 12 months of time and effort into building an AI SaaS business and you're not making 2K a month by the end of it, like you failed. Like I see it as that slam dunk that would be a failure, right? So could you do 5K to 10K a month? Yeah, in most spaces. In fact, if you gave yourself 12 to 18 months or maybe 12 to 24 months, so 1 to 2 years of effort, I don't see why anybody can't be at 10 to 20K a month passive income from their AI SaaS business. Anybody, unless they make fundamental errors along the way or they quit on themselves. If you quit, you know how much you make? You make a big fat zero. So typical, how much would I expect somebody to make on this journey? I would like to say typically, I would expect 10 to 20K a month being extremely doable for most people that don't make mistakes along the way, right? And you're gonna make mistakes along the way, but with AI, with my guidance for free on this channel, or if you're a mentee of mine, you're probably not gonna make as many mistakes, right? 10 to 20K a month is where I would go, you know what, you gave it a good shot, it was worth your time and effort. For most people that I mentor, 5K to 10K and sometimes 20K is what they come to me and say that's what would be a life-changing amount. I can tell you right now, with the way AI SaaS is, That is very achievable for the vast majority of people, even though I can't promise a penny. Just knowing how it is, how the maths stack up. In fact, I've got an income calculator down below. It's free. You don't even have to put an email address in. In the description down below, I've got an income calculator. Go click that. You can have a little play around with it. I don't think you have to put an email address in. I think it's just a free tool. Go play with it. And you can drag the sliders about and you can say, oh yeah, okay, I don't need that many customers. If you think about 8 billion people in the world, you get 0.00001% of them to be your customers, and they're paying you $50 to $100 a month. You've got a massive business. I mean, I've not done the maths on that, but it's probably a massive business. Like, you've got to get a fraction of people, just find a few people that have got the same problem, and online with a worldwide market where you can access Americans, you can access Brits, it's a no-brainer. Actually, to add some value to this, somebody asked me in the PMs whether they should offer in dollars. I'll throw that in here as a little gold nugget towards the end of this video. If you can service Americans and service British clients, for example, if you're based in England or in the UK and you can service Americans by just adding a dollar sign and dollars on your Stripe payment processor, then you should do so. 100%. If it takes you an afternoon to convert it over, and I've just been telling my one-to-one clients today, the ones that are built just for a UK market, well, why? Now, if my American clients, it's like, yeah, just price in dollars, you're fine. Because Brits are used to paying for software in dollars, so they don't care, it's all right. But Americans don't always like to pay for software in British pounds or euros. They don't really understand it. Sometimes it can create friction that you don't need. So price in dollars, because chances are, the US market, for whatever niche you're in, is 10 times bigger than the British market. So there's your answer if you watch this far into this video. This is for Terry. I don't know if you're watching it. But yeah, absolutely. Have US dollars, have British pounds. It's the same language. You might have to do a few tweaks here and there, but AI do it for you like that anyway. So absolutely, it's a no-brainer. Serve both if you can. Probably 80-90% of the money I made before I put my face on things, so before they knew it was a Brit, when it was faceless, which a lot of your SaaS businesses will be, but pre-SaaS, pre me getting to SaaS, 80-90% of the money I made was to American clients. Americans, I love you guys, but Americans are, they usually have more money to spend. They're a lot more impulsive purchasers. They're not as skeptical purchasers, so the requirement to build enough trust for them to take a punt on you is lower. They're just easier to sell to. Now, I do also find Americans to be very demanding customers. They can get quite demanding on a customer service point of view, but they are easier to sell to. So, yeah, there's a few thoughts for you. Yeah. So anyway, how much money can you make? Look, the truth is you can make 100K a month, you can make 200K a month, you can make $1 million a month. You could. Are you likely to? No, it's like anything. You could earn $250,000 a year in a job. Does that mean you do, or does that mean you are likely to? Probably not. Statistically speaking, it's going to be a small amount of people, a few percent of the population that earn $250,000 or more in a job, right? But it doesn't mean you can't. And the beauty of SaaS, an AI SaaS business, is you're building a digital asset. You're not exchanging time for money. You can only exchange 1 hour of your time probably to one person like once and then it's gone, right? So when you're selling your time or your life to other people in a job, your earnings are capped. When you're creating a digital asset that then you can sell to 10,000 people just as easy as you can sell it to 100 people, well, that's a different kettle of fish. It's a different ball game. There's some British terms for you probably. And all bets are off kind of thing. You're uncapped. Your earnings potential is uncapped. So you could, if you can get it to 10K a month, you can get it to 100K a month, right? It might take you 12 months to do that, but you can. So essentially, the answer is unlimited. You could make $1 trillion from it, but you're probably not gonna. But could you make 2, 3, 5, 10, 20K a month? Life-changing money for most people, especially as it's disposable income because you can do it alongside your job in your spare time. Absolutely. Most people that don't get knocked out on this pyramid. Most people get knocked out here, and then they it whittles it down to the few that are going to make it. But as long as you don't get knocked out at one of those rungs on the way, as long as you don't quit on yourself, and there's the key lesson here, is the chance of actually making it and being in that top percentage is just not quitting. It's hitting the hurdle, hitting the roadblock, finding a way up, like over it, through it, round it, under it, whatever. It's just not quitting on yourself. It's just keep going, whether it takes you 6 months, 12 months, 2 years, 3 years. Just don't quit. And then the chances of you succeeding by just staying in the game skyrocket, right? And then who knows how much you can make. 2K a month passive would be an extremely low figure. I would consider that a failed SaaS for somebody that had just stayed in the game and just not got knocked out by the different hurdles and the levels that you're going to have to go through to succeed. So just stay in the game, keep going, don't quit, be one of these people that finish the game, and then the results are 2K, 3K, 5K is probably like low end, very low end for most people. 10K, 20K, 50K, very achievable for a lot of people. 100K plus, absolutely, why not? You know, there's 14-year-olds making $1 million a month with SaaS, right? Doesn't mean you're gonna, but why not? Why not you? If a 14-year-old can do it, why can't you do it? So there's the video. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments what you think and all that stuff. And I think my mentorship is closing now. It closes officially on the 1st of December, but obviously you have to have a call to even be invited onto it. It has to be a good fit. And I don't know if there's any call slots left. I don't know. I don't even know. But it's going to go to a waiting list. So for the rest of December until sometime next year, I am closing that bad boy down. So it's probably too late to apply, but there might be some spots left. And if not, you can add yourself to the waiting list. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.